Welcome to Doing Divorce Different. We are so excited for so many reasons today. One is Kim and I are actually together in the barn.
In the barn.
So I did my first podcast from my barn last week. And now I get to be actually sitting here with Kim.
Lisa got me out of my bedroom today. So that was a nice change of pace.
Usually I'm in the barn and she's in her bedroom.
Yep.
So now we're together. And I'm so excited for our guests today. And I'm going to let them introduce themselves in a little while. But they're known as the Laughing Lovebugs. And this is the thing that's so funny. I probably about a week ago, I was out on a walk and I was thinking about when I was a little kid and I would just start laughing and how fun it was. And I came in the house and I was talking to my adult son and his wife, and I was telling them how I was thinking about that and how good that felt, and how I remembered a time with one of my friends where we just sat down and said, let's just start laughing really loud and funny. And let's see, if we actually get the giggles. And we did, and it was so fun. And I don't know why that thought came into my mind. Well, then I'm an attorney and I do divorce mediations, and I love listening to podcasts and I love health. And Dr. Mindy Pelz is one of my favorite podcasts. And I was listening to her, and here you are, the Laughing Lovebugs, talking about what I honestly was just thinking about and how it really is a healthy thing. So for our listeners, this might be a little odd. And I know Kim, I had told her a couple weeks ago, we're going to keep this really pretty serious. Like we're not going to, but what we want to do is we help people go through a divorce. Sometimes we help them stay together and stay married, through our initial consultation. But when we help people through a divorce, we want it to be a healing journey. They work together. They're not fighting things out in court. And so that's kind of the reason that I have the Laughing Lovebugs on. And I'm so excited because I think what you do can help maybe be an option for them to, I liked, you can talk more about how you can laugh through a disagreement, or maybe just do some laughing before we get together and mediate to go over a tough, because when you're emotional, it's hard to come to agreement. So that's the fit that I see. So if the two of you could just, because I just met you, I just heard you yesterday and called, and I'm so happy that you're here. So can you give us a little background on what brought you to do this and tell us your story?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
First, I want to thank you so much for allowing us to share, inviting us to share on your platform. We're always so excited every time we have the opportunity to share, because laughter yoga changed the quality of our lives, and we want to help others to change the quality of their lives too. It improved the quality of our lives. And well, before we begin, I'm Lauren.
And I'm Ali.
And we're the Laughing Lovebugs. And we're certified laughter yoga facilitators. And although you mentioned something about being very serious, although laughter is fun, it has serious health benefits.
Yes.
There's health benefits for your mental, emotional, and physical health. So we really enjoy it. And the way we discovered laughter yoga was very interesting, because we were newly married couple, and we were going through a very dark time in our lives. Not in our relationship, but individually in our personal lives, due to work stress. And we were experiencing a very challenging time in our lives where we did not know how to manage stress. Very poor stress management skills. And
you weren't laughing anymore.
We weren't laughing anymore. It was nothing to laugh at. It's very, very stressful time. And we didn't feel good. We weren't happy. We weren't satisfied with the way life was going. And we'll get into more details about that later. But I started experiencing health issues due to stress. Every time I would go to the doctor for a checkup and it was another issue, I'm like, what's causing this? Stress was the answer. And interestingly enough, after researching more about stress, and we found that 90% of health conditions are due to stress. And I was actually, unfortunately, someone that did experience health issues due to stress. So basically, stress kills, which was another reason for our passion behind laughter yoga, because this really helps so much with stress. But I was looking for unique ways to relieve stress and Googled those exact words and found laughter yoga. And I'm like, what is laughter yoga? I've never heard of laughter yoga. Is this real? And I found out that it was a real thing. It was created by a medical doctor, Dr. Kataria, who founded this laughter yoga. He's a medical doctor in India. He found that there's many health benefits to laughter. His wife was a yoga practitioner, so they combined the two and called it laughter yoga. So I'm like, the first thing I thought was, wow, this is legit. It's a real thing. And my next Google search was laughter yoga sessions near me. I found 2 of them, so I felt very lucky. Registered for both of them because they were at 2 different locations with 2 different instructors. So I went to both of them. Well, let me tell you, slow down a bit and tell you exactly how it went. Because I went to the first one with 2 of my cousins, and it felt that it was fun. It was a bit silly to me because we're laughing without relying on humor, jokes, or comedy. So it's just like we're just laughing. And
that is an interesting aspect. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I think that's what people don't always understand is kind of like when they say when you smile, you feel better. I think that I heard you say on Mindy's podcast that it's not like you're actually watching a comedian and getting a funny bone.
Yes, because laughter is all about unconditional laughter, which is why it's so helpful for so many situations, but we'll get into that later on. I'm trying to lead you along our story as it happened in the sequence of that it happened. So yeah, so I went with my cousins, and I thought it was enjoyable, a little silly, but I didn't feel really a huge transformation or shift in my life. I just felt like this was interesting, it was fun, it was easy, it's a bit silly, but I don't know if I'll go to the second one. But I had a gut feeling telling me I should try it again. Just because it was a different instructor, a different location, maybe I'll have a different experience. I was also at the time practicing listening to that gut feeling more. And I'm like, okay, I'll give it a try, maybe. So as the week went by, I was still on the fence about it. But then that Saturday came, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it. So I called my cousins up, and I'm like, hey, ladies, would you like to join me again for a laughter yoga session? It's at a different place, different instructor, and I want to try it again. They both declined, and that's when I turned to my amazing husband.
I was sitting by while she was asking her cousins would they come, and I had my fingers crossed like, please join her, please join her. I never did a yoga session before, so I was really hoping that they would join me. And they said no, and I was in a dark place myself. I had gotten injured on the job and was laid off. So being a male, I felt like I was supposed to be the provider, and being able to smile was conditional, whether my life was in the right place. So I really didn't feel the need to really go do laughter, and my life wasn't hitting the notes that I thought. So the session, we got to the yoga studio, and I was just uncomfortable being vulnerable, laughing in front of strangers. It was just really, it was a feeling of being naked, laughing in front of people, to be honest.
Not to mention those weird yoga pants, right?
And there was a lot of information posted around the studio about laughter yoga. So I'm reading everything, trying to get caught up on it so I know what I was getting myself into. And the instructor came in and she started giving us information about laughter. And she told us that laughter is contagious in a group within 2 minutes. So I'm saying to myself, being skeptical, because Lauren had already taken one session and she wasn't really moved from the first one. So I already had my own biases.
He kept on saying, why did you want to go again? Why did you want to go? I'm like, I don't know, the gut feeling.
And she told us that 15 minutes would take for you to reap the full benefits of a session, again, I'm like, no, impossible. Like, how is this going to change my life? I'm not working, I'm injured, and I'm just down on myself, beating myself up. Well, the session started, and she said to check in with yourself, rate how you're feeling on a scale of 1 to 10. If you're feeling good, rate from 1. 10, you're feeling great. I was honestly at a 2.
No, if you're feeling bad.
If you're feeling bad, a 1. And I was really at a 2. I really felt terrible. And I thought it wouldn't be transformative. But I wanted to be supportive of Lauren, so I proceeded to go along with the session. I have a sense of humor, but I'm serious. So I sarcastically laughed through the session. I'm laughing at the people, at the exercises. I just wanted to feel good, but I didn't feel comfortable. So it was that awkward laugh. But I did it continuously through the session. And I checked back in with myself. And when my mind and my body connected, and when I rated, checked back with that number that I had taken, I was at an 8. I felt great. I didn't get a call from a job. I didn't get a call saying I hit the lottery and I won $1 million. I felt great and nothing changed. And I tapped Lauren and I said, this is good. I feel wonderful. And finished the session. I was so relaxed. We went home, ate, showered, and got ready for bed. And like you said, holding that smile on your face can trick your body into feeling like you're happy. I did the same thing. I laid in bed and I just smiled. I didn't want to stop smiling even in my sleep. I laid on my back and I just smiled. So much that when I woke up the next morning, I wanted to go for a jog. I just felt great. So I tapped Lauren and I said, hey, you want to go for a jog with me? It was early and she's not a morning person and it was cold, so she declined. But I went by myself and it was remarkable. I'm jogging by myself early in the morning, doing the morning commute. And people started passing by. You know, the morning commute, people will listen to their, whatever they do in the morning. But people were flashing their headlights at me, giving me really strange looks. I kept running, kept laughing. But when I got back home, I asked Lauren, would you go out on a jog with me tomorrow so I won't look as strange when I'm running and laughing by myself?
Yeah. And the reason why he was doing this is because the instructor had told us to practice laughing more in your daily routine. Practice laughing for no reason. And she gave us a 40-day challenge to laugh more. So this is why he was doing this jogging and laughing. And he asked me to join him. And I'm like, okay, the next day I said, I won't jog with you, but I'll take a walk with you, a morning stroll, and we can laugh together and walk. And I was just so intrigued by his reaction to the people. He said people were looking at him like he was strange. He's like, maybe if we do it together, people won't think I'm strange, or I'm laughing because I'm with someone, so maybe it'll look more normal, I guess. So we're taking this walk together and we're laughing, and it became the most memorable walk we ever went on. We take a lot of walks together. It's one of our things.
So much to the point that we got distracted, didn't realize where we were. For the first time, we held hands and started skipping and laughing down the street.
Yeah, because we felt so good. It felt so good. We had no conversation. It was just
not one word.
At first, it started off fake for me because it was morning and I'm not a morning person, and it was cold, and I'm like ha 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 ha. But then eventually it became real, and it just felt so good, and we just kept on laughing and walking and laughing and walking. No conversation, absolutely none. But during this walk, even before the skipping, when we were just laughing and walking, people were looking at us with those strange things, same looks that Ali described the day before. So we're like, and people were crossing the street on us. They're like, oh, these two are just laughing, like what's going on with them? They were giving us strange looks, but we didn't let it stop us because we felt so good. What laughter does for you is it empowers you to be present in the moment. So you kind of like shut everything else that's going on outside. And because the feel good feeling inside of you is feeling amazing, you just continue to laugh.
That's where the skipping came from, I believe.
Yeah.
You just shut the whole world out.
Yeah. So then we got home after that walk, and I'm like, he was like, did you see that? The same strange looks I got, you got too. Now we got strange looks together. I'm like, yeah, it's so interesting that we got these looks. Like, we're not doing anything but laughing. Why is it strange? And that's what we call our first aha moment earlier in our laughter yoga journey, because it was like, If we were arguing with each other, or if we held stress or tension in our face as a young couple on a walk, would that be strange? Would people give us strange looks? We don't think so.
Mm-mm.
We are like, we're laughing. We know laughter is a universal language. When people laugh, we know something good is happening. We know laughter feels good. Why is it strange to laugh? Why is it strange to see a couple walking down the street laughing together? Why is that strange? Why are people looking at us like we have two heads? Why? So we're like, we should normalize laughter. Laughter should be normal. It should be normal to walk around looking cheerful, looking happy, instead of holding stress or tension in our faces, or, arguing down the street together. Mm-hmm. Let's laugh more. So that was our first aha moment. So during that period of time, we were so intrigued by this laughter yoga session and this laughing daily that we continued to do it. The next laughter yoga session that we would attend would be a month from that one.
And in that time period, I started watching laughter videos. I started watching on YouTube laughter yoga videos of people doing sessions. It sort of worked, but I didn't get that connection because I wasn't laughing with a group or anybody. I was just laughing for myself. And the effects of the session started to taper down as the weeks went by. And after that, I started asking Lauren, when's the next session? Every time I thought about feeling down, I'd be like, when's the next session?
Which was so interesting because the skeptic turned into a laughter yoga.
Right.
I became a fan. A fan.
So I'm like, she was holding sessions once a month. So the next month we registered, we went to that session. And again, it was incredible. It was life-changing. It was amazing. I felt so shifted by it. But I still had in the back of my mind, why am I so shifted by this? I know it was more than Ali just being there with me compared to the first session I went to with my cousins. I'm like, why is this one so different? It feels so good. Even though it's laughter yoga, it's a different location, different instructor. I am having a really different experience. And I wonder why. So I had that in the back of my head the whole time, but it felt so good. So at the end of the session, she asked if we ever went to laughter yoga before. And I told her it was my second time. Ali said it was his third time and his second time. And she's like, oh, well, I said, but your sessions is so different than the one I went to before with my cousins. Like, I don't know why. And she's like, would you mind sharing the name of the instructor and the location that you went to before? And I told her, and she's like, oh, that woman isn't certified in laughter yoga. She learned it off of YouTube and now she's holding sessions. So that was our second aha moment in a laughter yoga journey, because
that's when I said, how can we get certified?
Yeah. So he asked how we could get certified. So it was actually his idea for us to get certified together, and my idea of finding unique ways to relieve stress. And the rest is history. It transformed our lives. We became laughter yogis, not only to facilitate laughter yoga sessions, but we also practice laughter yoga in our personal lives. And why this will be helpful for all of your clients is because laughter yoga improved the relationship with each other, those around us, but most importantly, ourselves as individuals. Laughter yoga improved the relationship with ourselves, because in laughter yoga, you're not relying on happiness to laugh. Mm-hmm. You're not relying on satisfaction in life to laugh. You're not relying on comedy or a reason to laugh. You're laughing for the health of it. You're laughing because it feels good to laugh. The best part about laughter yoga, which is our favorite for those people that are very hard to laugh, they're very serious about laughter, is that
you can fake laugh.
You can fake laugh. You can fantastically laugh like Ali did during the first session. The body and brain does not know the difference between real laughter and fake laughter. You're still going to activate those feel-good chemicals, the dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. And you're still going to feel good.
Similar to exercise. You don't have to like the exercise.
Right.
Muscles respond the same way. And it's the same thing. Your body's going to respond to what you're doing, whether or not you're actually into it.
Yes.
And, I think it's so important because so many of the people that we help have children. And so even though they're getting divorced, well, Kim was a client that became a mediator, and they're connected and they still have relationships for the rest of their lives because of their kids. So why wouldn't you make it the best that you could. So I have a question. The whole COVID thing happened. I don't know how that worked for your courses, but can people do it online? And has that been working for you?
Yes. We hold virtual laughter yoga sessions for families, for couples. And why this is so great is because, number one, we laugh in the same language, especially for children as well. It helps because children learn through laughter. It's an easily learned, reinforced developmental skill to laugh, to be able to build that emotional resilience, to understand that you can laugh without relying on the condition. You can laugh because your body and brain does not know the difference between real laughter and fake laughter. You're no longer absorbing that stress.
You're observing it. You're externalizing problems instead of taking them in.
Yes, and this is why it's so helpful to help families bond, because they get to bond while feeling good together. They get to bond because there's no wrong way to laugh. We laugh in the same language. There's no wrong way to do it. It's a very easy exercise to do because you don't need a yoga mat. You don't need to be flexible. We're not doing any poses. There's no special uniform or anything you need to do. All you need to be is a willing participant. You don't even need a sense of humor. As Ali had a sense of humor, but he was very serious. He sarcastically laughed like, this isn't working, but it works. It really works. And this is why we're so passionate about sharing it with as many people as we can, especially for families. This helps to build the family relationship. It helps to connect us all. And we're not saying, okay, if you're going through a stressful or challenging time in your relationship or in your family, that you just laugh it off and it'll go away. We're very realistic. We're not preaching toxic positivity where we're saying that. What we're saying is that every challenge that we experience in life,
it's temporary.
It's temporary.
Amen. Yeah.
And laughter empowers you to be present in the moment, allows you to feel good, even in the face of a challenge, even in the face of doubt or that insecurity, or in the face of that stressful moment. It empowers you to be present and eases you into the next moment by allowing yourself to feel good.
Well, and that's why, what I'm thinking, yes, it brings families together, but I always try to help my clients to be prepared for our session. They're going through a divorce. It's emotional. You can't deny that. And I think I try to give them tools. We had a great my coach on last week, and she had tools which kind of are in line with this a little bit in an odd way. But, one thing that they could maybe do is get that emotion out before. I try to give them tips on how to prepare for the mediation. And if they can bring this is what I'm thinking, if they can bring their emotions down a little bit, they're going to be able to think clearly so that when they're sitting there, they can actually start agreeing on how they're going to divide things up and go through this really difficult and start healing, because that's what we want for them.
Laughter provides it's like an emotional circuit breaker. It provides an opportunity for you to reset and to start over.
Yes, and what it does also is it helps to not only empower you to be present in the moment, but also you own your emotions when you choose to laugh, because it's a choice. You own your emotions, and your emotions don't own you. So instead of drowning in your emotions, we understand emotions happen. But when you can own your emotions and say, I'm going to laugh in the face of this challenging moment. I'm going to laugh even though I'm stressed, because you deserve to feel good. Instead of absorbing that stress and feeling bad and ruining your health due to that stress. You can choose to laugh and you'll feel so empowered. And even if you fake it, you're still going to feel good.
I love that.
Your body doesn't know the difference.
Yep, I love that.
What happens inside of our bodies is so amazing, because there's so much that happens with the chemicals that we awaken in our bodies when we laugh. You're allowing more oxygen-rich air into your bloodstream, which helps your blood to circulate better.
You're strengthening your heart, your lungs. You're even improving your immune system.
Yes, you're lowering the cortisol levels, which is the stress hormones in your body. You're activating the right side of your brain. That's where the creativity sits. As adults, we're typically always on the left side. Logical, analytical, judgmental. In the laughter yoga, we're exercising our brain. We're giving our right side of our brain some exercise. The reason why is because we're not relying on that logic to laugh. We're not relying on that condition to laugh. We're not relying on a reason to laugh. We're laughing because we're empowering ourselves to be in the present moment. We're laughing for the health of it. We're laughing, even if we're fake laughing, to activate those feel-good chemicals in our body. So we have actually held sessions for couples that were going through very difficult times on the fence of divorce. We've had
a couple that actually hadn't laughed in over a year together.
Yeah.
I believe that. I can remember going through just a bad time in the middle of the divorce stuff, and something or someone, I think it was at my daytime job, that did something, and I remember like a full, deep, wholehearted laugh. And I remember thinking, oh my God, when is the last time that I did this? When is the last time that I laughed like this? Like, it felt so, you forget how good it does feel.
It's pleasant.
Yeah.
It provides an emotional release.
Yeah, it's so healing. A lot of people, especially couples or families going through a hard time we've experienced, they cry afterwards because they're like, wow, I didn't know I was missing that. I came into this session thinking it was going to be very fun, or I thought it was going to be silly, and I ended up feeling so amazing. I feel so relieved. We hold a lot of stress and tension in our bodies, that because we're adults and we logic our way through life and we're so responsible, we don't play anymore. And laughter yoga is awakening that inner child joy within us that desires freedom via laughter. So we laugh. We all were children at one time, and we all laughed. We didn't wait for something to be funny. We didn't wait for life to be great. We laughed because we were playing. We laughed because it felt good. And that's what adults lack. And the children are watching adults. They're not laughing anymore. They're not laughing. They're laughing like LOL now. Oh, that was funny, LOL. And it's very sad to see because they're mimicking adults. And imagine a family without laughter.
Imagine a world without laughter.
Yeah. And in Lisa, post-divorce, I am realizing how important laughter is within your relationship as a couple. Like, that is, it's key. And I think I didn't realize how much of that was missing in my past relationship, that in any future relationships, that's a big thing for me. It is a sense of humor, and just being the ability to be able to laugh, because you can get sucked down and bogged down with the day-to-day everything, that it's good to have that lightheartedness.
Yes. And I am so mind blown that I was just thinking about laughter, and I am a serious person. And what I want you to know is I'm going to try this. And I have high blood pressure, and I'm a little bit of a stress ball. Not horrible, but a little bit. I'm going to try this. And I know that I heard you say, I'm just going to try one of your courses, and I want to see.
We'd love to have you.
Yeah, I would love to. And
I'm sorry.
And no, you're fine. But I want to make sure, if people want to find you, what's the best way if they want to try one of these yoga courses? It's nice that it's now you can do it from your home.
Yeah.
And from anywhere. I don't even know where you're located.
We're in New Jersey.
Oh, New Jersey.
We hold laughter yoga sessions for anyone all over the world now, because it's virtually, and we use the platform Zoom or whatever platform. If it's like a corporate session or for schools or anything, we use whatever platform they would like to use. But we typically hold our sessions on Zoom, and they're virtual. So that means anyone could join from anywhere.
That's awesome.
You don't need anything but yourself.
And so do they find you at the Laughing Lovebugs, which I love it.
So it's www.laughinglovebugs.com, and all of our session types are listed there. And we love to share laughter yoga and laugh along with people, because laughter yoga is an interactive exercise routine. So we're not just saying, hey, laugh. We're actually laughing with you. So it's a great way to connect with people, whether it's a family reunion, whether you're going to a difficult time in your family, or
we've even laughed at repasses. Some people passed away.
During helping people grieve a loss, because the thing about laughter yoga is that it taught us that you can feel good at any time. Just because you're going through what we would call a challenging time or a bad time or a difficult moment, it doesn't mean that you can't feel good. It means that you're going to feel good again. And why not ease yourself into the next moment by allowing yourself to feel good? Why not allow yourself to laugh?
Yeah.
Why not allow yourself to practice using laughter as a way to cope with all the challenges that are guaranteed in life? What you're not guaranteed is to feel good in life. You're not guaranteed that. You actually are the most important person in your life. It's not your children, it's not your spouse, it's not your ex-spouse, it's not anything else. You are the most important person in your life, and you have to make the choice to allow yourself to feel good. To feel good more often. You have to practice it.
Yep.
The
I
world
love it.
doesn't give us practice with stress. We just have it. It doesn't give us practice with anxiety. We just have it.
Great.
It doesn't
Yeah.
give us practice for anything else, but we have to practice feeling good. And that laughter yoga helps you to practice feeling good. It helps you to get comfortable feeling uncomfortable, because when we're experiencing stress, we're not comfortable. So it helps us. It helps us to just bring everything back to full circle. And there's so much that happens physiologically inside of our bodies when we allow ourselves to laugh that helps us to communicate better. It activates the brain, the right side of the brain, that helps us to get that creativity going. So there's so much that happens, and we can go on and on about it.
I know, and I love it, and I love your passion. And I am going to try it. My husband thinks I'm nuts, but maybe he'll do it with me.
Oh my God, you should video it.
Yeah, I will. And really, for our listeners, if they're interested, going through a hard time, why not? Why would you not give it a try? Right? So thank you so much for joining us. We so appreciate it.
Thank you. We appreciate
Take care.